One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Hate Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never let your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. There's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Y'all Bashem, y'all shout Thumb to the brothers. Y'all Shemala Thub, Bashem, y'all shout to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Parak holding down the Wednesday law class for the ISUPK out of Arizona. All right. If you're watching online, you can see at the very bottom of the screen our class schedule, which is every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And of course, every Saturday we hold our Sabbath services as tradition every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. All right. So we're going to get right into it. Today what we're getting into is faith, understanding faith according to the Bible, right? and kind of casting down a few of the imaginations around faith. Hey, yes, casting down a few of the imaginations based that we got, in the Christian church and different places about what faith really is. All right. So in order to do this in this class, will be real straightforward. Just straightforward in the sense that, we're gonna define what faith is, and we're going to get some examples of faith. And then hopefully, if you didn't before this class, you will after the class understand what it means to have faith, the importance of having faith, and what you have to do to prove to the Most High that you have faith. All right, so let's start with the definition in the Bible. So we'll always go first. We find that in Hebrews, the 11th chapter. All right, Hebrews 11, and we're gonna just read the first verse for right now, and then we'll come back to it a little bit later, because one thing that I think a lot of people don't really hone in on when they read this, they stop right here with what we're about to read. They're going to stop where we're going to stop. They're not going to read the rest of the chapter. They're not going to understand what type of sacrifice that you have to make and what you have to do to show the Most High that you have faith. Because this chapter is the perfect chapter to show you what exactly needs to be done in order for you to prove to the Most High that you have faith in Him and prove that you have faith in Christ. All right. If you could read that Hebrews 1:1. 11:1.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Faith is substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So that's what faith is. Paul broke it down, and that's actually a really smart way, a really scholarly way to break it down. It makes perfect sense to most people, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Like, Christians don't have this part wrong about the faith. You understand? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. What is substance? Something that you can touch and you can feel. Let's just say you got faith that you're going to get a new phone next week. Do you know for sure that you're going to get a new phone next week? You don't know because you haven't been able to touch it. You just don't know. But you have faith. You believe that you're going to get that new phone next week. That's the substance of things that you hope for. You hope you're going to get the new phone, right? The evidence of things not seen. Evidence means that you know it to be true. Understand? If you have evidence of something, that means that it's a fact, right? But you're making a fact or having evidence out of things that you have not seen. You understand? And for us, of course, in the UPK, we understand that Christ is going to return. One day, Christ is going to return on them chariots. You understand? With a goddamn legion of angels, and He's going to crack that sky, and He's going to deliver us out of our oppression. You understand? We believe that. Although it's not tangible, although we don't see it happening right now, we believe that it's going to happen. So this is an excellent definition. You understand? Right. Paul did a really good job of breaking this thing down. And you go into any dictionary, which we're about to in just a second, the dictionary don't even break it down as good as this, right? But let's get the dictionary definition. I got it. Let's add that to the stream. All right. So that's faith. Make it big. So faith. The definition of faith, I think this comes from the Oxford Dictionary. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Let me see. Okay, once again, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. You understand? And that's not a bad definition either. Understand? That's a good definition. All that's saying is that you fully trust in this thing, and that's a good way to look at faith. You understand? But that's not that. What people don't understand is that there's multiple parts to faith, right? Faith isn't just the belief, right? There's a way that you have to prove your faith, because if you say you have faith, the Most High will test your faith. And at that moment, you're going to find out whether or not that faith is real or not. You understand? So we have to understand what faith is according to the Bible. I'm going to get, before we get into some of these examples, I want to get James, the 2nd chapter, right? And let's talk about what James said about faith, because every writing that you see in this Bible, even in the Old Testament, people think that faith is a New Testament concept. Even in the Old Testament, you find these brothers, not only you find many examples of these brothers having faith, but you also find that the prophets wrote about what faith was. You understand? Jeremiah, Isaiah. I can pull precepts. Matter of fact, I think there's a couple in here that we're going to get today. Where these brothers talk about faith, and talk about how to prove your faith. Well, James did the same thing. All right, so James, the second chapter is where we're going to go. All right, and let's get verse 14. So James 2 and verse 14. And I brought this up. I can't remember when I brought it up. It might have been about a week ago. I brought this up in class, just in passing, just to kind of prove the point that people's actions are really who they are.
Right.
And that's what we're going to find out in this class. Like, what you say means nothing. You can get on your knees every night and pray to the Most High, or who you think is the Most High, and get up off them knees and whoop your woman's ass, excuse my language, beat your woman because dinner wasn't cooked the way you wanted it to be. Right. You understand? It's so many people, them cats that's out there shooting things up, them cats be praying to somebody. They say they got faith in the Most High, you understand? But then, once again, their actions is who they really are.
There was I think Shawan or Ashkor Slaki brought a news report of Christians of this Catholic school is getting shut down after 70 years of being open over sexual assault charges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Elementary, and he broke it down in the part where it's like it's not just because of one, sexual assault, but multiple after 70 years of being open. I mean, come on, man. Generation after generation.
Right.
Man, it's a lot.
And them cats is up there every day talking about how much they love the Most High.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every day. And I bet, and them cats, see, this is the thing. A lot of people, and this is the danger about not being able to understand faith and understanding this Bible, is that a lot of these people really believe that they love the Most High, have faith in Christ and all of these things, but they just slip up every now and then. They just fall into their lust sometimes, That's what they say, right? Because they don't actually understand what it means to have faith. See, when you have faith, and we're going to prove it in just a minute, there is no wavering in your actions. Your actions are going to have to match up exactly with what you say. Otherwise, what you say means nothing. And we're going to prove that right now. James 2 and 14.
Book of James, chapter 2, verse 14. And doth it profit, my brethren, through a man say he hath faith and have not works?
Right. So James said, what doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Right. So what does it profit somebody to say, yeah, I believe in this thing and that thing, but they don't ever prove it with their actions? What does it profit that man? Keep going.
Can faith save him?
So can his faith in the thing that he says he has faith in, can that faith save him without those actions? Keep going.
Verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food.
Right. So if a brother or sister be naked, meaning not, out on the streets, butt naked, but this person is hurting. That's all this is talking about. This person is hurting, don't got no money, can't afford, you might notice this cat is wearing the same clothes all the time because he can't afford any clothes. You saying? And also destitute of daily food, hungry, which if you know anything about blacks and Hispanics, that's what we are all the time. You understand? Our brothers and our sisters are constantly destitute, you understand, in poverty, right? And so here's the example that James is going to give. Now, you see a brother that needs something. He needs food. He's hungry. You understand? He needs clothes, right? He's broke. Verse 16.
Verse 16. And one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled. Yeah, so listen, that brother, that sister, whoever it is, come up to you and they telling you about how hungry they are. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. And I just, I ain't been able to pay none of my bills. I've been having to skip out on food. My kids ain't got no food in their belly. They only eat when it's lunchtime at school. And they telling you all of this, right? And you say, yeah, brother, Lord be with you. May the Lord bless you with food and shelter. All right, shalom. That's exactly what this is talking about. That's that faith without works.
You saying, yeah, may the Lord bless you, and you walk off. You don't help at all. You say you want them to have food in their belly, right? You say that you want them to be warmed. You want them to be clothed. You say those things, but you don't do anything to show it. You don't say, hey, brother, listen, I got a couple of extra jackets. You know what I'm saying? I know it's cold out. I got you, right? Oh, brother, y'all ain't got no food for the day? No sweat. Let's go to the grocery store, right? You don't do none of that. You say, hey, the Lord will provide for you, brother. Shalom. That's terrible, right? That's your faith. You say you believe that the Most High is going to provide for him, but you're not putting any work to help this brother, right? Keep going.
Verse 16. It's like middle of 16. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body.
Right. You tell them be warmed and filled, right? But you don't give them the things that they need. Keep going.
Even so.
It's like end of 16.
It's like end of 16. What doth it profit?
So what's the profit in that? You know what that man or that woman or whoever it is going to say, or what they're going to do when you turn your back on them and say, yeah, hopefully you get some food. And they say, damn, that don't help me not one bit. That's like a God bless you. Like, what the hell does that mean? God bless you. Hey, God bless you, man. I hope you get the help you need. Nigga, I want you to be the help that I need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need help, and you're here. But you telling me, hey, wait on the next guy. Wait on somebody else to help you out. That's what you're doing, right? You gonna say something?
I was just gonna say it's like you brushing them off. You know what I'm saying? He telling you about his problem,
exactly,
and you're just brushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You'll make it. You know
right. Exactly, and that's the problem. And see, James is doing an excellent. What these brothers in this Bible have done an excellent job at is putting things into perspective. The problem is Christians and people that say they know God and things like that. They don't understand perspective. And what I mean by that is this. You're going to read this and you're going to agree with it. Anybody read this and be like, yeah, that does make sense. Me telling somebody I hope you get some food is definitely not good enough if I know that I can help them get the food. But the thing is, James isn't talking. He's using this as an example. He's not talking about you doing that. He's talking about you saying that you serve the Most High, but you don't actually do it. See, the same way that you told that brother, hey, man, I hope you get some food, is the same way that you said, Jesus, I love you. Because instead of proving that you loved him, just like John, I believe the 15th chapter tells you, Jesus said, or Yahushua said, if you love me, keep my commandments.
Right.
So you said you loved Christ, but you didn't keep his commandments. You say, no, we don't have to keep the law no more. Christ did away with the law. You lie on Christ, but you say you love him. That's what James is trying to show you. He's trying to show you that your faith requires action. And that's why I said earlier, if you remember in the beginning of this class, I said that faith is comprised of two things. There's two parts to faith. And that faith is the belief plus the action to prove that you believe that thing, right? Keep going. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone.
That's exactly what I just said, right? You can't have one without the other, right? You have to have them both. If you want to say that you have faith according to the Bible, you have to have works along with that faith. Otherwise, that faith is dead.
Right.
It's dead. You understand? Being alone, right? Let me see. Yeah, give me verse 19. Just skip down one more verse.
Verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God.
See, you believe in the Most High. I know you do. These Christians next door and all up and down this block, they believe it. They spending all their time in here not getting no goddamn tithe money. Don't nobody go to these damn churches no more. They spending all this time because they really believe that they're serving God. They believe that, right? But keep going.
Thou dost well.
Yeah, you do well to believe in God. Sure, keep going.
The devils also believe and tremble.
The devils also believe. You understand?
Right.
There are evil people out here. And of course, and this is what you got to understand, right? Think about the demons that you have on you. The demons that inhabit all of it, the same demons that were on that cat and murdered all of them poor children, man. Them demons, they fear God. You understand? They fear God. They believe in the Most High. Right? But keep going. Verse 20.
Verse 20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead?
But that faith, believing in the Most High, means nothing if you don't prove that you believe in the Most High. And not only just prove that you believe in the Most High, we're about to find out what you have to do. You have to prove to the Most High that you're going to serve him. Let's keep reading. We're going to give one of these examples that that James is going to bring up. Because once again, this ain't talking about this ain't talking about food and shelter and clothes for homeless people. It's not what this is talking about. This is talking about proving your service to God. All right. Verse 21.
Was not Abraham, our father, justified by works when he had offered Isaac, his son, upon the altar?
Right. Remember that Abraham offered his son Isaac on the altar. Why? Because it was the commandment of God. The Most High said, I command you to do this. And Abraham said, okay. Because he actually believed in God. He truly had faith. Would you sacrifice your child for the Most High? I know you wouldn't. I know you couldn't do it at all, ever. There's a lot of people that couldn't. I don't blame you. That's tough. But Abraham was willing to do it. And that was what the example that James is using. He's using this example because this is one of the most perfect ways to explain true faith in the Most High. Getting on your knee, you listen, dedicating. You could say, what them ladies called them nuns? Them nuns in the Catholic Church. Right. Them ladies, or so they say. They say they don't never have sex. You can't have sex ever. You dedicate your life to Christ and serving the church and things like that. You can say all of those things. You understand? And so some people, they're going to look at that like, yeah, those are the works to serve God. Look at all the things they're doing. They're not having sex. They're denying their lust. They're, at the church all the time, at the, they call them places, whatever. They're at the church all the time, helping all of the people out in the church and going out and doing these ministries and food giveaway, whatever the hell they do, right? And you might say, yeah, these nuns have faith, and they're serving the Most High. The problem is, you don't get to serve the Most High the way that you want to. Just like these Christians think that they're serving the Most High, they don't get to serve the Most High the way that they think they should by banging tambourines. They don't get to do that. Just like Isaac didn't offer Ishmael instead of Isaac. Abraham didn't offer Ishmael instead of Isaac. Because he could have said, well, I know the Most High told me I got to offer my son Isaac on the altar. But I don't really like Ishmael as much. So you know what? I'm going to just take Ishmael instead. God will still accept that because I'm still offering one of my children up. You don't get to serve God the way that you think he should be served. You better serve God the way that he told you he wants to be served. And that's it. That's the only thing that you can do. Well, that's what Abraham did, and that's how he proved he had faith. So,
it's like the same thing as Cain and Abel.
Same thing. That's a perfect example. Cain and Abel, right? Cain thought he could serve the Most High the way he wanted to serve the Most High. Right. God will be fine with this offering here. He'll be fine with this. But of course, we understood that Cain was cursed because he thought he could serve the Most High the way he wanted to. It's just something that you can't do. And the problem is you don't realize that you're going to be cursed just like Cain for serving God the way you think he should be served. Because you don't understand what faith is. Right? And one thing I did want to point out, right, in verse 22, it says, seest thou how faith wrought in his works? And no, not that. In verse 21, was not Abraham our father justified by his works? If somebody tells you that the law can't justify you, you should just read them in the scripture. Now, of course, you can go and you can see where the law alone doesn't justify you, just like works alone doesn't justify you. But just understand that there's nothing wrong with doing what the Most High wants you to do, the way he told you to do it. You understand? Let's keep going. Verse 22.
Verse 22. Seest thou how faith wrought with his work, and by his work was faith made perfect.
Mm-hmm. So now his faith was made perfect, meaning he proved that he had faith by doing the works that was required of him. Right? Keep going.
verse 23, the scriptures was fulfilled, which said, Abraham believed God.
He did what?
He believed God.
Abraham believed God. You want to know how he believed God? Let's read about it. Genesis, the 22nd chapter. Let's read about how Abraham proved that he truly believed in God. Once again, man, jumping up and down, you know what I'm saying, and singing and clapping and, you know, catching the Holy Ghost and all of those things. Those things feel good. It's a rapture. That's what they call it, isn't it? That's what they call it. It's like women in there having orgasms in that goddamn place. You understand? Falling out. Listen, man, what I want you to understand is that the thing that feels good to you is usually not the right thing to do. You understand? Like, you going and serving God, you think it should always feel good. So that's why you go to church. But you know what serving God actually looks like? Taking your, if the Most High told you to take your son and offer him on the altar, that's what it looks like. That thing don't feel too good. But you're either going to do it to prove that you serve the Most High, or you're not, and you're going to be proven a liar. Let's get Genesis 22 and 1.
22 and 12 or
And no, it's like it 22 and 1.
and 1.
Yeah.
Book of Genesis, chapter 22, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt him. So I did tempt Abraham.
So now here's what happened, right? Most of us know about this story when the Most High, the story I've been talking about for the past 10 minutes, right? How Abraham was tempted by the Most High to offer his only son Isaac. Now, notice how it says that the Most High tempted Abraham. All that means, and what that really means, is the Most High was testing Abraham. Right? When you go back and you look into the definition of that word, it just means that he's testing Abraham to see if he's going to do what he says he's going to do. Abraham said that he believed in the Most High. So now God, the Most High, is testing him to see if that's really true. Right? Good.
And said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son,
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah,
Mm-hmm.
and offer him there for a burnt offering.
And do what?
And it's like, and offer him there for a burnt offering.
That's what the Most High told Abraham to do. He said, get your son up, just you and your only son Isaac, that son that you love so much. Get up and go into the land of Moriah. And what you're going to do when you get there is you're going to offer that little boy that you love. You're going to kill that little boy. That's what it says. It says, offer him there for a burnt offering. You're going to set that boy on fire that you love so much. Let's keep reading.
Right. Burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of.
Go ahead.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning.
He did what?
Rose up early in the morning.
Listen, Abraham didn't ask no questions. Do you see any questions being asked here? Abraham didn't say, well, hold on. We're moving a little too fast. This is my son. Kind of moving kind of quick here, right?
He said, "Count one count."
Yeah, he just said, count on one kind. You understand? He you know what he did? All right, better get to bed so I can wake up in the morning and go do what the hell you told me to do. That's what he did. And he rose up early in the morning. Keep going.
And saddled his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for a burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him.
So that's what he did. He didn't ask no questions. The Most High said, I need you to do this thing for me. I need you to take your son, and I need you to take him up to this mountain and offer him as a burnt offering. And that was the Most High, like the scripture said, tempting him or testing him to see if what he said was true. Because Abraham said, I'm going to serve the Lord. Well, Abraham said, I'm going to prove it. He said, this is my shot to prove to the Most High that I'm going to do what he said. I'm going to prove that I have faith and belief in the Most High. So now they get to the top. We'll skip a little bit. They get to the top of the mountain, right? And we just see that Abraham, right, he got the wood and everything that he needed to offer his son, right? Verse 7.
Verse 7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?
So now this would break your heart. You understand? If you are the parent here, and the Most High knew that Abraham loved his son Isaac. Think about that son or that daughter that you got, that you just love, that you can't imagine anything terrible happening to them. Now you're going to be the reason that something terrible happens to them, because you're proving to the Most High that you love him.
Right.
Say something.
And these are the words that you're only exchanging with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the last words you're exchanging.
Come on. And the last thing that your son is saying to you is, Pops, you know, it's not like he's not like Isaac is suspecting anything. He's just confused. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He said, you know, I see the wood and I see the fire. But where's the lamb for the burnt offering? You said we was coming up here for an offering. And you have to look down at your son, and in your mind, no, I'm about to put you on that goddamn wood and on that fire and set you on fire as an offering to the Most High. In your mind, you have to say that. You have to be able to say that to yourself. And in your mind, you have to be okay with it, because you have to understand that this is for you to prove to the Most High that you serve him. One thing, though, we're going to read it, right? Isaac asked, where's the lamb for a burnt offering? Read verse 8.
Verse 8. And God's like, and Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering.
He will do what?
He will he will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together.
So this is what happened. Abraham told his son, he said, the Most High is going to provide a lamb. Here's the thing that you have to understand about Abraham. Abraham was absolutely willing to put his son to death to prove to the Most High that he loved him. But here's what Abraham also knew. Abraham also knew that the Most High wasn't going to make him kill his son. Why did he say? He said, God himself will provide a lamb for a burnt offering, right? And then we, of course, see in verse 10, just for time's sake, he over there getting hyped. So like, verse 10, right? He says, and Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing that thou hast not, withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. Now, that was the moment when the Most High told them angels, hey, go down there and stop this brother, because he's really willing to do it. He's really willing to by any means prove his faith in me. But here's what we see next, right? Let me see. Verse 13, right? And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son, meaning in the place of his son. Abraham understood that the Most High was a merciful God. That's why he told his son, the Most High is going to provide that lamb. And, of course, because he understood that we could see that the Most High didn't have him kill his son, but instead, in the place of his son, had him kill this ram that the Most High provided, right? But that's what Abraham was willing to do to show his faith. Now, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to go that far? Scriptures say that you got to be fools for Christ. We are fools for Christ's sake. I don't know if you really understand what that means. That means being willing to do that type of thing. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to tell you something just so everybody can understand something in case this video comes across the wrong person. If a voice in your head tells you that you have to go take your son somewhere and stab him in his heart and set him on fire, you just have schizophrenia. That's not God speaking.
Right.
You understand? This is not your moment to prove to the Most High, oh, this is it. I'm gonna go kill my son. I'm gonna prove to the Most High that I believe in him. You just have schizophrenia and you need to get help. That's it. Okay, so don't ever think that God is ever talking to you ever at all. Whether he's telling you to kill your son or telling you to go to the grocery store, he's never talking to you ever. He's talking to you now, right now.
Right.
You understand? In this class, in Commander General Johannes Black Watch, you understand? And any other class that's going on right now in the UPK, that's where he's talking to you. Besides that, he's not talking to you. Slucky, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, what I'm saying? There was this woman that actually thought she was hearing God, what I'm saying? Killed her, I think her daughter, what I'm saying, in a bathtub. You know what I'm saying? She got arrested and put it in a prison and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
That's how they think they should prove their faith. See, and now that's just one example, right? Let's go back to Hebrews the 11th chapter. And like I said, this is going to be pretty much straight to the point. That was one example. I mean, how much more can we talk about this thing for real? We just need Hebrews 11 again. Hebrews 11. All right, and just understand that the reason why this class is so important is because everything that we try to do here in the UPK it revolves around getting you to understand how to serve the Most High, and that's it. Do you want to know why we, break down the Gentiles in the Bible and prove to you that white people can't be saved? It's because we want you to understand how to truly serve the Most High. We teach classes about water baptism and how water baptism is no longer how you can be baptized. Now you have to be baptized with fire and the Holy Spirit, like the scripture says. We teach that class because we want you to understand how to serve the Most High. We don't want you getting dipped in the pastor's dirty bathtub and thinking that that's what saves you. So all of these things that we teach, they're all important because they're all geared towards teaching you how to properly serve the Most High. And you can't get it nowhere else. You understand? But let's get a few examples. Now we got a few examples that we got to get into in Hebrews the 11th chapter. This is what I said. So now we read the first verse in this chapter at the beginning of this class. And I talked about how every Christian knows this verse, but what confuses me, I mean, it completely just puzzles me that as you keep reading, and which we will do, that they don't understand what faith truly means. They just, once again, think it's some sort of belief that you just, I feel this way about God. I feel this way about Christ, right? Even before we read this, like anybody can understand this. People say that love is an action, even in the world. People say, if you love me, you say you love me, this, that, and the third, but you don't act like it, right? We all understand that. We've all been in relationships, so we might have some kids. Your kids might tell you, that they respect you. You understand? They might say that they respect you and they'll do what you say, but then you find out that they don't do what you say, so then thus they don't respect you. You understand? And then, they have to be punished for those things. Well, that's exactly what having faith without works is, right? So let's get, we'll read verse 1 again.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right, and we went over that in the beginning of the class, right? Keep going.
Verse 2. For by it the elders obtained a good report.
So for by faith, the elders obtained a good report. Who are the elders? We're going to read about them. These are the men in times past, right? That we read in this Bible. We read about these brothers and we see how they proved their faith, and it gave them, or they obtained a good report by that faith. What's a good report? Reading in the Bible how Abraham was called the Most High's friend. That's a good report. It's an excellent report. I hope to one day, if at all possible, if I could ever be an ounce of worthy enough to be called the Most High's friend. God damn. You understand? Well, that's what Abraham's report was in this Bible. Enoch, his report in this Bible was excellent because he had faith, but he also proved that he had faith, right? So by it, the elders obtained a good report. By faith, right? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God.
Right. So through faith, we believe that the worlds were framed by the word of God. Listen, through faith, we read Genesis, the first and second chapter, and say, yeah, that's exactly what happened. But we've never seen those things ever. You understand? We weren't around for the big boom that you find. When the scriptures say, when God said, let there be light, that's what your so-called scientists would say is the Big Bang. We wasn't around to see that, and guess what? Neither was the scientists. You understand? Keep going.
So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Keep going.
By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
And that's what you just brought up like maybe 10 minutes ago, talking about Cain, right? You can't serve the Most High the way that you think you should serve him. If the Most High says that he wants this, you give him this. You understand? You don't give him the thing that he might like better, right? Or the thing that you think will suffice to please the Most High. That proves that you don't have faith in the Most High.
The easiest thing you can do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which was, Cain's, you know what I'm saying, work. He didn't do no work, you know what I'm saying, for that crop.
Right. We're actually going to read about it, right? Read that again. Verse 4.
Verse 4. By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like God testifying of his gifts.
Right, because Abel did listen to the Most High. Abel knew what the Most High wanted. Why? We teach this in the class where there's a class that we teach that basically goes into the fact that the law was always here. Before you get the written Moses, the law of Moses, that law existed. The cleanliness law existed. That's when you have the Noah's Ark, the two of every clean, two of every two of every clean? No, two of every unclean, seven of every clean, right? Which just kind of proves that the Most High had already established the law of unlawful and lawful foods, right? Or the dietary law that was established before Moses. Well, before that, the Most High had also established the law of sacrifice. You would sacrifice unto the Most High, right? And Abel sacrificed the thing that was right unto the Most High, that the Most High asked for. And Cain, of course, we understand that he gave the Most High whatever he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Which we're going to read about. That's why I don't want to get too much into it just yet, right? Just finish that off and we'll go read about it.
God testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaking.
How is it? Give me Genesis the 4th chapter. How is it that Abel being dead yet speaketh? Because we're going to read about it right now, and we're going to find out about the good report that he received because of his faith unto the Most High. Right? This will be quick. Get Genesis. The 4th chapter. We start at verse 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
So now Eve had these two children. She had the first boy that she had. His name was Cain, and this brother was I don't even call him brother Salaki. This man was a tiller of the ground, meaning he was somebody that picked crops and saying harvest crops, things like that, right? He was a tiller of the ground. But Abel, which was the younger son, he was a keeper of the sheep, right? He was a shepherd. All right, verse 3.
And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Now remember, I just said that the law of sacrifices and offerings was already established at this time. It was established from the beginning. Well, Cain decided that he was going to bring an offering, but the offering that he brought was of what? Of the ground, the fruit of the ground. Right? Verse 4.
Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstling of his flock.
Of the what?
Of his flock.
He brought of the what?
Oh, of the firstlings of his flock.
He brought of the firstlings of his flock. Remember, Abel was a shepherd, so he was the keeper of the sheep. He brought the best of the best sheep that he had, right? Keep going.
And of the fat thereof.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
See, the Most High respected Abel's offering and Abel. Keep going.
But not Cain. And to his offering, he had no respect.
Right. To Cain and his offering, he didn't have any respect. And here's why. Because Cain thought that he could serve the Most High any way he wanted to. So although the Most High requires blood, that's what the sacrifice that you can go into the book of Leviticus and you can find the sacrificial law, right? Well, the Most High never requires you to bring what is it? The fruit of the ground as an offering. I don't want to say never, right? Because of course you do have like the feast of first fruits and things like that, right? But in this particular instance, the Most High didn't require the fruit of the ground. He required the firstling of his flock. Of the flock, right? Which is what you find throughout the Bible. That is the sacrifice that you're to give. You're supposed to give the best of the best, and that's what Abel did. But Cain did what he wanted to do. Abel, because of his faith, we're reading about him today and we're honoring him today.
Right.
Cain, because he proved himself not to have faith in the Most High, we look at him and we say, God damn, I don't ever want to be like this cat. Right? Read the end of verse 5.
End of verse 5. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
So Cain got upset. Cain was extremely angry because the Most High accepted Abel's offering, but did not accept Cain's offering. Right? Keep going.
If thou doest well, thou shalt not be accepted.
Slack it. Read that again.
If thou doest well, thou shalt thou not be accepted.
See, now this is what we have to understand. The Most High said this to Cain. He said, if you do well, meaning if you do the right thing, if you do what I ask you to do or what I tell you to do, won't you be accepted? What is the Most High saying to Cain right here? He's saying, if you would have just done what I told you to do, you would have been accepted.
Right. You
would have been praised just like your brother. You understand? I would have accepted your offering just like I accepted your brother's offering. But I denied yours because you didn't do what the hell I asked. Cain didn't have no faith. Right? Keep going.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
And he didn't do well. You understand? And why does it say sin lieth at the door? He didn't do well. In what sense? He didn't do what the Most High said. What is sin? Transgression of the law. So the Most High is telling this man, you didn't do what I said. You transgressed the commandment that I gave to you. Right? Keep going.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Right, and that is a hell of a prophecy. You understand? That is a hell of a prophecy. When you go into what's the chapter in the book of Revelation? I can't recall at the moment, right? But you keep reading this, right? You can find that Cain murdered his brother because of his jealousy, right? Cain murdered his brother because of his jealousy, because Abel did the right thing and Cain did the wrong thing. Now you can just that just mirrors everything that's happening right now today. You understand? Nah, it's not Romans. You talking about what? You talking about Romans 9?
Yeah, Romans 9.
Nah.
Not Romans 9. I'm talking about Romans, but it talks about it will make you like a slave unto death.
Nah, that ain't the one I'm looking for. Yeah, it's kind of off topic anyway, so it's no sweat. But yeah, it's excellent that you brought that up earlier. And of course, we just read the account, right? So Abel proved his faith how? By doing what the hell the Most High said to do. Let's see. Let's go back to Hebrews, right? But I want to get okay, give me verse 6 in Hebrews 11.
Hebrews 6.
Mm-hmm. I'm skimming Hebrews 11 and verse 6. So,
Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is possible to please him.
It is impossible.
It is impossible to please him.
Right. So without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. So absolutely, you have to have faith. Right. Keep going.
For he that cometh to God must believe that he is.
So if you're going to come to the Most High for anything, you have to believe that he exists. You have to. Right.
That he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
And you're also going to have to understand that the Most High rewards those that diligently seek him, right? Not just, once again, the scriptures call that lip service, right? Not just somebody that says, yeah, I love you, God. I'm going to be in church on every Sunday. Even though I was having sex with a whore on Saturday night, I'll make sure I wake up on time after doing all of the cocaine I can find. I'm going to make sure I wake up with that cocaine hangover, and I'm going to come to church. And that's how I'll show the Most High that I love him, right? If you truly have faith in the Most High, you're going to understand that the only way that the Most High is going to be with you is if you know that he only helps those that diligently seek him. And brothers and sisters, you can't be diligently seeking the Most High if you're diligently seeking your next blunt, if you're diligently seeking the next whore that you're going to have sex with, if you're diligently seeking a homosexual lifestyle, or what they call it, an alternative lifestyle. Right. If you're diligently seeking all of the things that the Most High hates, you can't be diligently seeking the Lord. So that means the Lord can't be with you. And once again, that nullifies your faith. You don't have it. You understand? Another example. Give me verse 7.
Verse 7. By faith, Noah, being warned of God, being warned of God of things not seen yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
Now this one is heavy, right? Because this is Noah. You know about the story. You learn this in Sunday school, and damn near everybody knows about the story of Noah's Ark. Right? But here's what's heavy about what Noah did. Noah was warned by the Most High that there was a flood coming. And the Most High gave him a commandment. He said, build this ark, make it with this type of wood, with this gopher wood, and make it to these dimensions, this width, this height, this depth, and do all of that. And Noah can't see the future. So he could never be sure if there's actually going to be a flood coming.
Right, in a place where it was always dry.
In a place where it was always dry. Damn. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had no logical reason to believe that it would ever rain enough for the earth to flood. But the Most High warned him of those things not seen as yet, and Noah moved with fear. Right?
Like if I could, the same thing that the brothers they would hear, hearing about the angels coming, hearing about Christ's return, hearing about what God is going to bring judgment to this world, we don't know about that. I mean, we haven't seen that,
Right.
And it hasn't happened, but guess what? We have faith,
right. Exactly. Right. Let's get that account real quick. Genesis 6 and 7. Genesis the 6th chapter. Stay right here.
Book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast.
Right.
And
So now Genesis the 6th chapter, when you go into Genesis the 6th chapter, just to give you some context, the Most High saw the sons of God, or the chosen lineage of the Most High, having sex with the daughters of men, right? Women that were not of the chosen lineage of the Most High, right? And that's what you would call today your interracial marriage. And the Most High saw that, and he said, damn this. I don't like the fact that my holy lineage is mixing with such an unholy lineage. So he said, what? Read verse 7 from the top again. It's like
Genesis chapter 6, verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth.
Right. So because of that interracial marriage that was going on, the Most High said that he was going to destroy the entire earth. He said, let me just start over. Right? Keep going.
Both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But
Right.
Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And we're going to find out why Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, because he must have done something special, right? And for Christians and a lot of different people that read this Bible, they don't quite understand what was so special about Noah, right? But we're going to find out exactly why he was special. Keep going.
These are the generations of Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Noah was a just man.
He was a just man. Keep going.
And perfect in his generations.
So how was Noah perfect? He was perfect in his generations, meaning his family, his line did not mix with the other nations. Right? And just to break that down, I know it's a little bit off topic, but it's really not, because it's a commandment. You understand? Keeping the commandments is part of having faith, right? The Most High has always had a chosen lineage, always, since the beginning, right? Adam and Eve were not the first people on the face of the planet. We all understand that, and it's just pretty simple. Even if you just read the Bible, it'd be kind of ridiculous to come to the conclusion that Adam and Eve were the first people, right? Adam and Eve were not the first people. When you read the book of Genesis, the 1st chapter, the Most High created mankind on the 6th day, all right? And then on the 7th day, Adam was formed, all right? So 2 different time periods, right? There was a time period when mankind was created and Adam had not been formed yet. And then down the line, Adam was formed, right? So Adam was not the first man on the planet, right? But he was the first man that the Most High chose. And the Most High chose Adam and his lineage to be his holy seed, right? A chosen generation. So then after Adam, of course, you come down and you have Noah, right? Adam had us. Now, of course, it gets ridiculous because there are so many genealogies in this Bible, right? But we understand that Adam had a son named Seth, of course. Now, through Seth's line, you have Noah, all right? And Noah and his family never mixed with the other nations, never mixed with the other different types of people that were not chosen. And so because of that, the Most High chose Noah to replenish the earth, to start over creation with, all right? That's the short version. Of course, that thing gets real long, and that's a whole class within itself, right? But that's the short version of it, right? So that's why he was perfect, because he was perfect in his generations. Keep going. End of verse 9.
End of verse 9. And Noah walked with God, and Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Mm-hmm. So now those 3 sons and their wives. So just to skip ahead, let's go to the 7th chapter. Noah and his wife and his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their wives as well. And those 8 people were the ones that were chosen to go on to that ark that the Most High required Noah to build. Let's get 7 and 1.
Book of Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house, into the ark. For thee, it's like, for thee have I seen righteousness. It's like righteous before me in this generation.
Right. The Most High said, okay, this now in between the span of time that we just jumped from in chapter 6 to this chapter in chapter 7, for time's sake, Noah built the ark. He gave him the dimensions and everything that he had to do to build this ark that was able to sustain the high winds and all of the rain and all of the water and all of those things. And Noah did just that. He took the dimensions, he took the exact type of wood, and he put that thing together. Understand? And because of that, the Most High said that I have seen thee righteous before me in this generation. Because the Most High knew that nobody else would be willing to do that. Nobody would be willing to break their back for the Most High. You understand? And take all of that time in building this extremely, if you know how big Noah's Ark was, I mean, it's huge. It's like a damn football field. And Noah took all of that time to build that thing, not even being sure that anything was going to happen at all, that it was even ever going to be put to use. You understand? He just had the faith. But the difference is, imagine this. Imagine believing, damn, the Most High really is going to flood the earth. He's saying I got to build this ark, though. Damn, that's a lot of work. All right, tell you what. I ain't going to build this ark that's big as a goddamn football stadium. You know what I'll do? I'm going to build a boat that me and my family could fit on. If water's coming anyway, you know, boats float on water. So I'm going to build me a boat, I don't know, maybe the size of this classroom. That's big enough. It's like, damn, it's the size of a house. You know, me and my family could live on it for however long, right? And, you know, we'll be able to live on that boat. They could have done that. You going to say something?
Cut corners, basically.
Right, cut corners. Serve God the way that they think they can serve God. Here's what would have happened if they would have done that. For one, the Most High would have obviously, he would have known that this man that said he had faith in the Most High truly did not have faith in the Most High. And the Lord would have sent that flood, and him, his wife, and his three sons and their wives would have all died in that flood. You understand? And those are the and so what I'm trying to convey this point. You not exercising your faith correctly and properly, and not having a full understanding of what it means to have faith, and putting those works with it, it can get you killed. You get what I mean? It can absolutely get you killed, right? Because once again, if Noah hadn't done the thing that the Most High told him to do, he'd have cut corners like Officer Matazar said and made something smaller because the big one was too much work. He would have died on that goddamn ship or that boat that he made. You understand? That's important. It's important to understand. Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Basically everything, you know what I'm saying? You break it down, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? We're not, like, you know what I'm saying? You brought out that example of Noah. What if he would have, you know what I'm saying? He would just cut a corner, you know what I'm saying? Just do his own way. You know what I'm saying? Think about all that work, and save him some time, save him some, you know what I'm saying? Some sweat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Would have done that.
And that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, because it's so much easier to just go to the Christian church and like cry your problems away, sing them away. Like most of us, we black and Hispanic, we've been there. We've been to them churches where they banging them tambourines. And listen, Lord help you if they got a good band in that place. Because if they got a good band, you are bewitched every Sunday and every Wednesday. You're going Wednesdays too. You're going to go every day that you can because it's a free concert. And the tithe money that you pay, it's going to the Lord. So it ain't no big deal. You understand? That thing feels good. But ask Noah, you understand how hard it was to prove or to have, how hard it was to have faith. The sweat, like you said, He was breaking a sweat out there. That big thing, that big boat that he built, that thing was big as hell. Like I said, it's about the size. If you look at it, it's like the size of a football field.
And it's like, and to add on to,
Yeah.
he doesn't even know if he's gonna make it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he's gonna make it on the deadline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Might as well spend some time with the family.
Right. See, there you
You know
go.
what I'm saying? It's life.
And that's the thing, and that's how so many brothers and sisters get caught up because, and it's kind of like that same thing that a lot of Christians will use to say, well, you can't keep the whole law. Like, damn, nigga, so you're not even gonna try? Like, excuse me, you're not even gonna try to keep the law because somebody told you that you can't keep the whole thing.
And it's like, if I could,
Yeah.
it's really the only people that tell you that you can't keep the law is your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Your enemies know what that does when you don't serve and obey. You know what I'm saying? God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was it? Judith or
Yeah, that's
John.
Judith. I think you want to
You
talk
know
about
what I'm saying?
the counselor.
Like, they know what happens when we disobey the Most High. And they rather us not serve the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they can rule over us and have us as their slaves.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, it makes it's so much easier to go and like to have the truth, right? The truth. You said this when I first came into the truth, and I totally agreed and understood. When General Muhammad's speaking, and he's going in, it's like he's talking to you, and he's telling you all of the bad things about you specifically.
Right.
It's like he's talking to you, and you have to sit there and you have to listen to it. And what's that going to do? You're going to be forced to say, "Hey, I got some demons on me." You understand? There's some things about me that I'm gonna have to change. I'm going to have to change, and that is tough. That's a tough thing. But you know what's easier? Sitting in the Christian church, and they're going to say, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you no matter what you do. Everybody stand up. I don't know if y'all ever really been to a church. They get you to stand up, and after, while the music is going, you clapping your hands, this, that, and the third. You're going to walk up to the front, and they're going to have this whole line of people getting ready to get hit and thrown down, because what's going to happen is you're going to catch the Holy Ghost. And you're going to just feel so revived, and it's just going to be such a beautiful thing. And that's what it's like to not serve God. Not serving God is fun. It's fun, and it feels really goddamn good. Serving God hurts, because serving God is going to force you to face the demon that you are. You're a terrible person. And serving God is going to cleanse you of being a terrible person by you acknowledging, yeah, I'm a piece of garbage. You understand? And that's the tough thing. That's a hard thing to do. It's nothing worse than really just realizing for the first time, damn, I'm terrible. And then you have to go through this process of, now what do I have to do to fix it? But go ahead.
Well, go through the work.
Right. Yeah. Like now it's time to actually do something to better yourself. Everybody got this goddamn thing in the world, everybody, oh my God, they hold. I guess it's always been around. I guess I'm just seeing it more often now. But everybody's trying to better themselves. And so what that means? In the world, you know what bettering yourself is? I got to cut off my friends that don't do the things that I like. I got to cut this person off. Cut anybody that has negative energy around me. I'm going to cut them off. That's okay. You should cut yourself off, because you're a goddamn demon. See, you focus on everybody else around you being a terrible person. Don't you realize that, bitch, you're terrible too? You understand? And for you brothers out there, goddamn, you so goddamn weak. You let the memes that I be seeing. I was just talking about this yesterday with my rib. She was talking about this brother, not in school, of course. Some cat on Facebook just constantly posting these memes. They got the memes like the Kevin Gates memes, where it's like they're not memes, but they're like the Kevin Gates with the quote. And then they had like Kevin Gates with his shirt off and his ponytail, and it'd be like, sometimes you gotta cut people off to grow. And I'd be looking at posts like that, and I'd be like, God damn, you gay as hell sharing this type of thing. You got a man naked, he got his shirt off, he got a little weird ponytail in, he got damn near makeup on his face, and he's staring out this window. You understand? reflecting on life, or I don't know what the hell. And he probably never said that. It's probably some Twitter account or some Instagram account that put that thing together. And that's your idea of bettering yourself. You're gonna learn from a meme or a quote that some cat in some room somewhere typed up, so that way he could get idiots like you to share it. That's how you're gonna learn how to get better. The only way that you can learn how to get better is to get faced with the demons that you got. You understand? That's the only way. But sister said, Con, their favorite saying, no one's perfect. Yeah, you're damn right. That's exactly what they'll say. They'll say, them Christians will say, no one's perfect. So that just means that you get to be the most terrible piece of garbage on earth. You understand? There's no accountability. Go ahead. You can say.
I was just gonna say also too, the whole New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Always trying to better themselves every other year, but yet they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the point. And that's what, and so my whole point in bringing all those things up is, right, it hurts and it's hard to do the right thing. It's always, we live by this, and it's tough. And that's why we say life is a war. You understand? This is the condition, the book of Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, right? This is the condition of the battle that every man on earth has to fight. Everybody. You think Lil Wayne, with all of his riches and his money, I mean, and all of the cars and clothes and all of the women he got, you think he ain't battling his demons? The difference is between the brothers in here and brothers like that is he's losing. He's losing that battle. But he's got them. The money don't make the goddamn pain go away. You understand? And so my whole point is this, right? Let's go back to Hebrews the 11th chapter, right? My whole point is that it takes work to prove that you have faith. That's it. Back to Hebrews 11. And the sister said, look your demons in the eye. Damn right. And you know what looking your demons in the eye means? Go to that bathroom of yours or that closet and look in that mirror. And then you're looking your demons in the eye, because that's you. You understand? In the world, the negative energy and all of that, that's the people around you. You don't never do nothing wrong. It's the people around you. No, nigga, it's you. You're the problem. I saw this post before we read that. I saw this post. I can't remember who posted it. I think it was Captain Katazar. And the post, he reposted it, but it says something along the lines of, I don't know who needs to hear this, but what you're going through right now is your fault. I was like, damn, that's heavy. Whoever that is, get him a flyer. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the goddamn truth. Like, the reason why we suffer is because we think that it's somebody else's fault. You get what I'm saying? But nobody is taking accountability for the things that you're doing, right? All right, so let's see. What time is it? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna read. Let me see. Oh, this is a heavy one. Give me verse 11.
Verse 11. It's like book of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 11. Through faith, also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age.
When she was past age, this woman had went through menopause and all of that. No more babies for Sarah. You understand? But, and of course, her husband was, he was that man, Abraham. You understand? Because of their faith, right? She was able to have a goddamn baby at, 99 years old? I think it was 90. I believe it was 99, right? Listen, Lord be with a sister to get pregnant at that age. Salaki. That's crazy. You understand? But only the Lord could make something like that happen. Now, here's why this is important and heavy right here, is because Sarah was able to be convinced by her faith, right? That she would have this child, right? Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed. Let's get that. Let me get Genesis 18 real quick. let's get that real quick because I want to get that account because this is actually I wasn't even gonna read this, but this was a heavy one. Genesis 18, and then I want to get verse 11.
Book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 11. Now Abraham said, now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Therefore Sarah laughed with herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure?
So at this time, right, an angel of the Lord came down to Abraham and Sarah and told them that they were going to have a child.
Right.
You understand? And verse 12 says Sarah laughed within herself, right? Because verse 11 was saying that she's, it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women, meaning, if anybody doesn't know, there's a certain age or, age range where a lot of women will go through what's called menopause. And one of the majors, a lot of things that happen with menopause, right? But one of the major things that is most known for is that woman can no longer have children, right? Her body is no longer producing those eggs anymore, right? And that's, of course, what was happening with Sarah. She had been past that age. She was at this point old, right? And so the angel of the Lord came and told her and Abraham, yeah, y'all gonna have a baby. So she started laughing, right? Imagine now, angel of the Lord sometimes can come as a man. Just imagine that today. I'm just saying that so you can put a picture in your mind. Imagine like an 80-year-old woman, right? They 80, 90-year-old woman. I mean, this woman's old. And she's with her old husband. And some man come up to them and say, brother, sister, y'all are going to have sex and have a baby. That 80-year-old woman, that 90-year-old woman, she'd be right to laugh. That's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make much sense. But see, this is the thing. Well, let's keep reading so I can show you exactly why this is important.
After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure? My Lord being old also. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said unto Abraham.
And she asked, wait, hold on, let's see. Right, and she said, after I'm waxed old, shall I have pleasure? Right? Good question. My Lord being old also. That's why she laughed, because her and her husband, and the pleasure is not just talking about the sex, it's talking about being able to give a child, or birth a child, right? She's like, we both old, right? Keep going.
And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which I am old?
Mm-hmm.
Which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord?
And so now this is what the Most High told this sister. He told Sarah this. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Which is a good question. At this point, they had seen a lot of things happen from the Most High. And not to mention, Abraham, I could see that maybe this sister, I don't know, because Abraham had put this sister through a lot. Not in a bad way, but the fact that Abraham had to leave his home because the Most High told him to leave his homeland, the place where he grew up, the place that his father was, his family was, his friends, her friends, all of these things. It was told to get up out of there. And so Abraham got up and told his wife, let's get out of here. And we're leaving. We're going to go to the place that the Lord appointed us. Right? This one, now imagine being a woman and your husband says, yeah, God told me we got to go to this land that we don't know nothing about. This woman had gone through so much. Like I said, not in a bad way, but she's riding it out with her husband. Right? All of these things. And then now, after all of these things at her old age, now she's being told by the Most High that she's going to have a child. Have a child in her old age. She doesn't quite believe it, but the best thing that could have been said here, which is so perfect, is anything too hard for the Lord? And that what that would do for somebody is that would snap you right out of that place that you was just in, where you're denying the power of the Most High. Because we've seen the things that the Most High has done, right? Give me now let's go to chapter 21. It's a lucky, y'all. Chapter 21, and just start at verse 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 21, 21, verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken.
And the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Remember, the Most High told Sarah that she was going to have this child. Right? Keep going.
For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him.
Right. So because this sister decided this is what's heavy about this thing, right? Remember how I just said that Sarah rolled it out with her husband. She might have did a little bit of complaining here and there, but she got up and she went to that land that the Most High told Abraham to go to. Right. She didn't stay back in the land that he was in. I think it was the land of Canaan. She didn't stay back with all of the friends that she had there. You understand? She went with her husband because the Lord told him to do it. You understand? Everything from then on and into this point that she did because of her faith. And so because of that, because she wrote it out with her husband and she did these things, she was blessed with that child. And she received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past age. Right? And if you go into Hebrews 11 and 11, it says, because she judged him faithful who had promised. You understand? She believed what the Most High said, right? Verse 13. If you give me Hebrews 11 and 13.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promise.
This is what's heavy about this. Abraham, Sarah, Noah, Abel, all of these brothers and that sister, they all were the chosen seed, chosen lineage of the Most High, which means that they're supposed to receive. Let's even just take it into the first kingdom of Israel after the Exodus. Abraham never got to see that kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Sarah never got to see it. Abel, Noah, none of them brothers and sisters got to see that kingdom, but they knew the kingdom was coming. They died before they got to receive it. Right? That's what it says, that these all died in faith. They all died believing this thing. And this is what's heavy about this, right? Keep reading. So these all died in faith, not having received the promises. Go ahead.
But having seen them afar off.
But they saw them afar off, meaning they knew these things were going to happen. Keep going.
And were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Listen,
Christ he might not come back while I'm alive. You understand? He might come back generations from now. The scriptures say that no man knoweth the hour nor the time that Christ is going to return. Christ could come back in the year 3000. It's possible. Unlikely. The way things are going right now, but it's possible. I'm still going to put in the work right now, even if I don't get to benefit from it. You understand? Even if I don't get to benefit, and this is why. Because when you have, let me get this precept right quick. I'll show you something. We're going to close it out after this. I'm going to show you why it's important. Might be in the Apocrypha. It's lucky. Y'all know the last scripture is always the one that takes the longest to find.
That's right, because it's true.
It is true.
Excuse me. Because it's like, it just comes out of nowhere. It's like, damn. What was it?
Yeah. Let me see.
It's like.
Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. I think I got it. Which one do I want? Is it the one in Esdras? Let me see. It's either the one in Esdras or it's the one in second Esdras. I knew it was in the Apocrypha. All right. This is why you should just do what the hell the Bible tells you to do. See, people think what's that saying, YOLO? You only live once. Give me a second Esdras, the 14th chapter, and then the 35th verse.
Book of Second Esdras, chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
This is what happens to every person when they die. You understand? When you die, your body gets sent, or it's like your spirit gets sent to the Most High to be judged. Now, judgment isn't always a bad thing, right? You can be judged well or you can be judged poorly. You understand? Meaning you've done well or you've done poorly, right? So after you die, your spirit gets sent to the Most High to be judged. Go ahead.
When we shall live again.
And after that judgment, right? After you sit in that court with the Most High and get judged based off of the things that you've done, you will come back into this earth. That's going to happen, right? Keep going.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifested.
So then when you get returned to this earth, you are going to live out that judgment, whatever that judgment is. And in this sense, the names of the righteous will be manifest, meaning if you've done well, you want to return into this earth and you will live a righteous life. You understand? The Lord will bless you. The things that you work for, see, this is the thing about the Bible and the Most High. There's nothing vain in this Bible. There's nothing vain about the Most High. The Most High is not going to make you work. The Most High didn't make Abraham work all that time just for him to get old and die and never receive any of the promises. You understand? Abraham is going to, and has, I'm sure, but is going to return into this earth and experience the kingdom of heaven. That's in the book of Matthew. In the book of Matthew, it says that Abraham is going to return and be in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? But keep going. This is the part I really like to focus on.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifested, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
But if you're proven to be a liar, if you say that you have faith, but you're not willing to prove it, you're going to die. And when you die, that's not it. You understand? The Most High is going to return you onto this earth, and your judgment is going to be lived by you. You're going to live out your judgment. You understand? You're going to have to pay the things that you've stolen. You understand? You're going to have to do that thing. And that's something that we all got to do. A lot of us are doing it right now. You understand? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, is a generational curse because we are the same people that broke Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Right. We're the same ones, right? We're the same ones that broke those laws in the Old Testament. We're the same ones that was coming out of the land of Egypt. That's us. And we still ain't got it right. And so now we're going to have to now prove to the Most High that we have faith. You know, it's time for us to stop pretending. It's time for us to get out of the Christian church, get out of the Muslim mosque, take the goddamn suit off. If you're a brother, take the suit off, man. Take that westernized white man suit off and put on one of these holy garments in here. Do the thing that the Most High, you know, the scriptures say that these valiant men of the Bible, they dressed in glorious warlike apparel, and that's what we wear in here. You understand? But take the goddamn suit off, man. You got to do the right thing now. The right thing is not following your oppressor. The right thing is following this Bible and doing the thing that the Most High told you to do the way he told you to do it. He never told you to put on a suit and pick up a tambourine and go bang it in the Christian church. He never told you to do that thing. But you know what he did tell you to do? He told you to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. And he said if you didn't, he was going to put you to death. And a lot of us are facing that thing right now, facing death, because we still don't want to listen. You understand? But anyway, that's the point, man. I mean, it's real simple. The whole moral of the story is this: faith is only effective if it has both parts. You have to have the faith and you have to have the works. If you say that you believe in God, prove it. And you can't prove it the way that you want to prove it. You're going to have to prove it the way that he said to prove it.
Right.
That's it. He said, if you're going to prove that you love the Most High, for 1 John the 5th chapter and the 3rd verse says, the love of the Most High is keeping the commandments, keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments, being in obedience unto the Most High. That's how you prove that you really love the Most High. That's how you prove your faith. Anything else is just talk, and the Most High doesn't respect talk. All right. With that, I'm passing class over to Priest Officer myself.
ISUPK security announcements. We're at the ISUPK, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months, period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Also in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ashra means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Holy Convocation, which is Feast of First Fruits.
Yeah.
So what day is it?
I can't recall. It's in June though. It's the middle of June. I'll get it. I'll get it before you close out.
Also, reminder to hit if you haven't visited, if you could search us up on the Google, right? On Google, type in ISUPK Arizona. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't left a review, if you could leave a review, Baba Kasha. Also, if you could leave a comment as well. And also, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf.
And then I have the Feast of First Fruits will be Sunday, June 12th. All right, Sunday, June 12th. We're going to start before sundown. That's what the scriptures say in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. But because we're in Arizona, that's 7 o'clock anyway, because the sun in June doesn't go down until 7:30. So we'll be starting at 7 p.m. on Sunday, June 12th.
Right.
All right. And if that's of course a high holy day. If you can make it, you need to make it because of course it's a holy convocation that's required by the Most High. All right.
Right. And with that, we're going to end the class with a salute. Men of Israel, Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Majum Shabbat. Majum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yedi B'tah, class dismissed.